How are you?
Good, how about you?
Gotta get the microphone. How you doing?
Good, how about you?
Good. What's your feeling to this point as opposed to the beginning of the season? How much of a better player? How much have you developed since game one, in your opinion?
I say starting off from game one, I had a little bit of nerves, coming in, my first start, and then as the season progressed, you just get better with practice and reps. Learning the defense better and better. So I say that my progression has been pretty good, but I have a long way to go still.
Believe you're the first cornerback to win the Money Mob Chain of the Week. You proud of that, and what does that mean to you to get recognized by Coach Brown like that?
I'm really proud of this. Strap Mob, we take it real serious, and if you win it, it means that you really had a good week, both on the field and in the classroom. And it's real competitive in our DB room, so it's a big deal.
Yeah, just being one of the younger guys in the secondary this year, have there been any older DBs that kind of took hand in the wing, kind of mentored you out of this point so far?
Definitely Keely, Dan, Chris, those are the older guys in the room, and we just been really following Chris's lead. He's been one of the guys who's been here for a long time, and he knows he's played a lot of football here, and he's been stepping up along with Keely and Dan, and just taking us up under their wing.
Obviously, the clip of you and Jamon on the sideline at Missouri went kind of viral. What was that interaction like? And Kirby said that that's something that he's okay with, the players, sharing a message with each other. Have you shared a message like that with anybody before? And, what was that interaction like?
I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, that one just happened to be on camera, but I just see it as two players who just want to win. Pop, he doing whatever trying to be a leader, do whatever he can to help us win. And me, I'm just gonna listen to him. I mean, I'm a middle linebacker. He makes a lot of the calls, and he's one of the leaders on his defense. So as a guy I respect, we came in together. We got a really good relationship. So there's nothing. It just blew up because of the way the way it looked, but nobody was on the field with us except for us. So.
I'll ask you about Ryan Davis just a little bit. I know you obviously know all he's been through with the injuries and that thing, but for him to finally get that first career start last week, how proud were you of him for that?
I was really happy for him. Trouble, he works hard. He's a hard worker. He comes in day out. Whether he's banged up or not, he come in, he works hard, and he played well against Auburn. And I hope that he keeps going. He deserves it.
Jumping back to talking about the leadership on the field with those messages, how big is that for a team that's looking to win a championship?
It's huge. It's championship teams are led by the players. You obviously have the coaches, but a player-led team is a team that both the coaches and players want. So having those leaders on the field and off the field as well is crucial to having a championship team.
I guess I just flash back to just how you're at Georgia. I know you're from Savannah, but you played high school ball in Tuscaloosa, and obviously you're an excellent defensive back. So what led you back out of the state of Alabama and back to Georgia?
It was more like a coming home. Like I say, whenever I left Georgia, I had just started high school, and I was just a young guy. And then, once I started getting recruited and I got to see everything, I just wanted to really come home and prove that I could play for my real home state.
I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about team chemistry, because Jalen's out, Smiles out, and then you got Tremel getting more time, Bear getting more time, Ryan getting more time. Kirby mentioned something at the Missouri game, said the best 11, and just how does that feel, like them coming in and getting the playing time? Even Javon came in and out, and now Tyke started that game too. How's the chemistry going with so many guys coming in and out?
The chemistry has been pretty good. I say, chemistry is a thing that happens on the field as much as off the field. Like, we have to have chemistry outside of football for us to be able to play and mesh together. But chemistry happens in practice whenever we're out there. Hot days, nobody sees it. And we're out there just grinding with each other. That's when the chemistry really bonds. And Coach Smart was talking about the best 11 or the 11 best, and that's basically like we're better together. 1 + 1 = 3. So the chemistry is really crucial, and it's been getting better every week.
I don't want to belabor the exchange with Jamon, but it was interesting from the standpoint. That was a tough series for you because that you got a scrambling quarterback, and and I guess you came off your guy to go after him. That later there was a real weird PI there. I don't know whether it was a good call or not, but what specifically was he lighting you up about? Do you remember?
I don't even remember. He wouldn't even light me. He wouldn't light me up in general. You know, I was just there, and I'm obviously gonna listen to him, but he was just lighting up the defense in general. And you know, I don't really remember. It was a couple of games ago, and you know, as a corner, I mean, as a DB and as a defensive player in general, you have the next play mentality. So it was already in the back of my mind.
So you talked about how big like Chris and Huey, those guys are for in your development as leaders. Can you talk a bit about some of the certain places where they look for you to grow, and obviously you're young and develop?
You know, I just say, you know, knowing my role within the defense, you know, knowing where to be at all times and being able to, you know, just do my job whenever my name gets called.
Does your number 3 have a meaning to you in any way?
It's just always been my number, you know. I've been wearing 3. I've been playing football since I was 3 years old, so that was one of the first numbers I had, and then it just always stuck with me. And then in high school, so my friends at high school started calling me K3, and I liked it. So then I started branding it, and now, you know, it's just stuck with me.
I remember last fall, when you came in, Kirby said you were one of the stars of fall camp. What does that mean? Like, how were you able to come in and make an impact, even though you didn't get to play necessarily a ton at corner last year? What were some of the things you did to make an impact, and when did you really feel like you were completely settled in here?
I just say, you know, coming in last year, just trying to give energy and effort, you know, showing the coaching staff and really my teammates that, you know, I'm here to play and that I'm here to play for them, and I'm a hard worker. And I say I really got settled in to Georgia, like football, you know, school, the campus as a whole. I really say I really got settled in around the time of the national championship. That's whenever I really got settled in.
What are some of the challenges, if you don't mind me following up on when you talk about getting settling in, feeling a normal routine? What are some of the hurdles to that or challenges to that?
I mean, me, you know, I lived with my parents my whole life, so, you know, moving away from them, that was probably the biggest challenge. And then when I first got here, I was without a car, so I was walking a lot, and I don't really like walking. And then, of course, in Athens, there's hills everywhere, so like, my legs was tired before I even got to practice. But outside of that, I just say, you know, adjusting, you know, the speed of college, you know, being on my own.
This may have already been asked before, but I've heard it. You being from Savannah, did you have a previous relationship with Nolan Smith before you came here?
Nolan was always older than me. I remember whenever I was at St. James, he was playing for Calvary, and he was huge. And he was in like 8th grade, and I probably was in 6th grade, and I was like, this guy's good. So like, but he's always one of those guys that I looked up to, and he didn't really know me until I came out of high school, or like till I got to high school. But he was always one of those guys I looked up to, just because we're from the same city.
Going back to the next play mentality, I was wondering how frustrating does it feel when you cover your guy, you do your job, and a quarterback like Robbie Ashford just busts a run, and there's really nothing you can do about it. Just how do you bounce back from that?
Really, I mean, you just think about it. You don't really have time to, because I mean, most of the time, a lot of days in college football, the offense are going fast, so you got to really get the call, see what their alignment is, what personnel they're in, and you just got to keep playing ball and try and keep them out the end zone.
Let's take 2 more questions.
This game specifically, Vanderbilt, and this quarterback is obviously pretty good at throwing the ball around, spinning it. What's your view of Vanderbilt, and what's the challenge on Saturday?
Vanderbilt has a really good football team this year. They got a really good quarterback, or really 2 good quarterbacks. One quarterback who can take the top off with his feet, you know, really fast, and then one quarterback who's really accurate. And they got some pretty good skill players as well.
Last question, anyone? Okay, thanks, Kamari.
Thank you.